Ukraine's largest military base south of Dickerson has fallen into the hands of Russian troops. Tens of thousands of ammunition for Ukrainian armored vehicles is now in the hands of Russian troops. Ukrainian military base located in the Radin's Dickerson Oblast region was abandoned by the Ukrainian army in a hurry so that the base was empty and left equipment behind, weapons and ammunition. The Russian Ministry of Defense announced that it had seized more than 4,500 tons of rocket shell ammunition for several rocket-launched systems as well as mortar rounds and high-explosive fragmentation shells from the base. In addition, they also recovered T-64 and T-80 Urana transport tanks, armored personnel, combat airborne infantry, Ural vehicles and ammunition depots including mines and mortars. Kherson itself is a very important city in the south and indeed must be captured by Russia at all costs and with sea, arson and control. This is a significant Russian victory and strategic path to access Log Black and also the cream of Russia itself. It must be battered to face the bloody battle in the city, and now the movement of Russian troops from Crimea seems to be more massive and the supply of weapons and supplies of Russia can run smoothly. It can't be denied that Russia is also leaving a lot of armor tank defense equipment and even their Panzer system were abandoned and burned, and now reportedly many are controlled by the military, whether it's because of their stalled fuel supply or indeed the Russian troops who lost the battle because of the large number of Russian defense equipment that was also left behind. The Ministry of Defense of Ukraine claims that its troops succeeded in hitting the Russian military in the city of Buvyok, a suburb of the capital Kiev, relying on anti-tank weapons. The size of the troops was said to be able to stop the Russian military movement in the city of Bujana, 20 miles 32 km from the center of the capital. This information was officially confirmed by the Ministry of Defense Ukraine, who said that the Russian military had suffered heavy losses in Bucha. Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal said that tens of thousands of Ukrainian military reservists arrived at the base. The core troops guarding the city were engaged in battle. Our troops fought like lions in all directions and kept the defense strong. The enemy is getting tired and in some areas they are forced to retreat tactically, said Snell, quoted from the Independence. At the same time, tens of thousands of reservists who joined us with weapons came to Ukraine from all over the world, he said. The Prime Minister of Ukraine believes that not only soldiers are always the spirit of Reno today has managed to fight its fears. Our fear and confusion in the first 2 days have turned into courage. Everyone understands that we are waging a war of liberation for our land and our future, says SMI. On the other side, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the military operations carried out by his country in Ukraine going according to plan. Putin accuses Ukrainian troops of using human shields and recruiting foreign mercenaries from the Middle East to fight Russian troops on ground. I would like to say that special military operations are proceeding strictly according to schedule, according to plan. All assigned tasks are completed successfully. We are at war with neo-Nazis, Putin said while speaking at the Russian Security Council. Putin's statement came after Russia invaded Ukraine from 3 sides in the latest modern military campaign by the Ukrainian authorities. The attack killed dozens of civilians and injured hundreds of others. After 11 days it remains clear that skies over Ukraine are urgently needed. This is seen with a notable spike in Russian aircraft losses reported in just the last few days. In general, Ukrainian troops as well as civilians continue to fight Russian forces who are increasingly besieging major population centers, although it is still difficult to independently verify the loss of any kind on their side. It is quite clear that Russia has lost a number of helicopters and fighter jets, at least one and small, in the last few days. The research team on the Orphan Match blog, according to available open source information, that in the past day or so Russia missing a number of their her jets were a Su-30 SM flanker, 2 Su-34 fullbacks and 2 Su-25 Fraudfoots, as well as 2 Mi-24 EP-35 Hinda helicopters, a Mi-8 Hip and an Ural drone. It's unclear how Ukrainian forces shot down these planes, but surface-to-air missiles on the flanks at Main PS appears to be the main factor. A video shows one of these weapons hitting a helicopter, including an American-made Stinger, has been a key component of a recent shipment of other weapons to Ukraine. As many as 14 cargo planes loaded with military assistance from various countries reportedly landed in the area bordering Ukraine on last Friday. Meanwhile, the Russian S-missile system was reported to have broken a record in the war in Ukraine by shooting down a Su-27 fighter because from a distance of 150 kilometers, according to the aviation report. The incident occurred during the second day of war on February 25, 2012. 2 missile systems. The advanced missile was operated in Belarus and shot down at April over the airspace keep. In this battle, Ukraine has also lost a number of their fighter jets, such as the Western Su-27 and Su-30. Although the military operation has passed its plan, it is believed that Russian President Vladimir Putin will not back down until goal achieved. Andrei Fedorov, former deputy foreign minister of Russia, says UTI has a very clear goal that Ukraine must be changed. Fedorov to Al Jazeera says he has known Putin for many years and he will not stop, predicting most likely in the next 5 to 6 days military operations will be expanded to more regions including Odisha. He added that Russia will besiege the kids and then will give a kind of ultimatum so that Fortune resigns within 24 hours. Of Russian history in Russia, Kiev is called the mother of all cities in Russia, said Fedorov. Meanwhile, meter analyst from the Institute for the Study of War Machine the Code explains that Russia has not used military force to its fullest against Ukraine. Much of Russia's high-end capabilities have not been really put to use. American tanks based in Germany seem to have had enough of itching. American M1 Abrams tanks conduct live-fire drills using tank weapons systems at military bases on Germany's Graven Wall, briefing the 1st Armored Fighting Team in the 3rd Infantry Division supporting more than 90,000 personnel. Americans who have deployed or are based in Europe a week after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, one of the largest mobilizations of NATO's armed forces, are underway. About 22,000 additional NATO troops have been transferred to Eastern Europe with military equipment and weapons as well as a full force of soldiers or not. Most of the 20 countries NATO members supply weapons to Ukraine, especially anti-tank missiles. Now for the first time NATO activates a Rapid Response Force aka NRF consisting of 40,000 troops including from non-allied countries such as Finland and Sweden. NATO is indeed increasing air military presence in the eastern part of the alliance in the Baltic countries such as at home in Poland. If anything happens to a member of NATO, it is certain that the fast movement of NATO troops will be faster in repelling the Russian troops. The question is whether NATO will only defend or will attack when Russia's economy is destroyed, melted and weak, or can peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia actually materialize?